Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at the brand new hospital level sneak peeks. There are 9 images that we're going to be looking at and dissecting today. But before I start going through them, I just want to give a huge thank you to every one of my subscribers for helping me reach 9,000 subscribers. I can't believe how close we are to 10,000 subscribers. Doing YouTube still feels just as fun as it was when I first started, and I'm really grateful you guys are enjoying what I do. Thank you again for all the massive support. Anyways, back to the video. Like I said, there are 9 images that we're going to be looking at today. These were released one by one through a voting system that was held on my stream yesterday. Before yesterday, our only sneak peek of this hospital level was part of a blueprint that featured a ventilation system, a pit area, and a second exit. I have a video on my channel going over all of it if you'd like to check it out, but I will also be mentioning it throughout this video. The first sneak peek that was revealed was this image up on screen. It features our first look at the new ventilation system we were teased at with this level's blueprint. This gives us a good idea on how much the quality is going to improve this update. I say this because if you compare the old vents in Chapter 1 to the new vents in Chapter 2, you can see a huge improvement. This is something that excites me because you can tell how much effort the developers are putting into Chapter 2. With that being said, let's move on to the next image. This next sneak peek's file name reads columns and features 7 pillars outside of what seems to be a caged window. Now, at first I didn't know what to think of it since it looked pretty mysterious, but after some more thinking, I believe this area with the columns is going to be featured in the pit section that was shown on the blueprint. More on that later. This next sneak peek is titled Dark Halls and gives us a better view of the room that's outside these columns. It's a bit hard to see at first, but after brightening the image, you can point a lot of things out. The first thing being the most obvious is the wheelchair looking out the window. One thing I want to point out is there looks to be an item that seems to be sitting in the chair. This is something I'll come back to later in the video. Outside the window, we can see the columns we were shown previously. Inside the room, we can see several stretchers, candles, a plant, a few shelves, and another wheelchair, further confirming this is in fact the hospital level from the blueprint. Another thing I want to point out is the use of candles. Our first look of them was actually during the level 17 cutscene, as we can see them featured in the background. We also saw one in the beginning of the Chapter 2 trailer troll. Pretty interesting. It's possible that candles could become the new item that replaces the flashlight in Chapter 2. After all, if you glitch in the level 17 cutscene, the only item you're allowed to use is the camera. Or it's entirely possible they're just for decoration. We'll just have to see. Anyways, let's move on to the next image. This next sneak peek is very interesting. Its file name reads Chase and features an area very resemblant to a level we've seen before. This area includes obstacles like chairs, stretchers, and shelves, which we'll probably have to avoid. One detail I want to point out though is the use of green exit signs, which seems like a direct parallel to level 6's overall red color, right? But green exit signs are actually used as a way of instructing the public to stay calm and show that it's safe to go. An odd detail, but still pretty interesting. As for what's going to be chasing us, I think it's going to be an entirely new entity we haven't even seen yet. But anyways, let's move on. These next 2 sneak peeks are titled Window and feature 2 areas. The first image contains an area which looks to be a waiting room that also has a few stretchers and some chairs. There's also a poster next to the stretcher here, which we found out was actually a banned poster that has no relevance to the game at all. The second sneak peek contains the inside of one of these windowed rooms and features a couch, a table with a few chairs, and some cabinets in the back. A pretty standard looking room. Now oddly enough, this next image seemingly has nothing to do with the hospital level. Or does it? In this image, we see the top view of a vent looking down on a few subway rails. The same subway rails we see in the subway station level. Could these levels come one after the other? Or is this simply just a teaser specifically for the subway station? We're just gonna have to find out and see once chapter 2 drops. For our second to last image, we have the sneak peek up on screen. The name for this file reads room_1. It features a few wheelchairs, a vending machine in the back, a few plants, a few regular chairs, a red exit sign, emphasis on red, a fire extinguisher on the right, and if we brighten up the image, we can read the text on the middle pillar that says A wing, implying there's a B wing and possibly a C wing. But besides that, what else can we take from this image? I would say nothing else, but one thing I noticed is that none of the wheelchairs shown have any sort of item on them. Let's go back to what I said about the first wheelchair we saw in the Dark Halls image. This is the only wheelchair we've seen yet that has some mysterious item. As for what it is, I can't really say. Maybe these are tape recordings? Recordings of the logs I talked about previously on my lore video. I think this is very likely considering this is the hospital level, but we'll find out sooner or later. Let's move on to our last and final sneak peek of the video. This file is named TMIS, which after some research is an acronym for Technical Management and Information System. Is this exactly what it means? I'm not sure, but I thought I should point it out. The actual teaser itself features what looks like an elevator of some sort. It reminds me a lot of the one I saw in the show Stranger Things. We can see a line connecting from the top of the box to what I assume is the ceiling. Could this be entering the pit area I talked about previously? I think it's highly likely. Is this also where the columns are? Who knows? But that's all the information I have for today. If you enjoyed today's video, consider subscribing. I post everything and anything Apeirophobia related so you won't miss a thing. With that being said, stay tuned for next upload. Bye!